Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for attending our webinar today. We have a very exciting topic. I am joined by our application engineer, Alistair, and we are going to cover how flexible automation can improve your customer's experience. So we're really going to dive into the flexibility of DigiFabster and how that can play into fitting into your current business processes, and really at the end of the day, make the best possible customer experience for your, or with your implementation rather. You do have the ability to answer or ask questions, in which we will answer at the end. I'll answer those, ask and answer those out loud, so everybody has the benefit of understanding the information. There will be a recording of this webinar available that will be emailed out to you, so you do have the option to rewatch parts or all of it, whatever you wish to do. And with that, enjoy today's session, and I'll hand it over to Alistair.
Thank you. So like Mike said, in today's webinar, we'll be going over how flexible automation can play a positive role in your customer experience, specifically during the RFQ process. So the DigiFabster solution, it's been designed to be flexible, and it can be implemented in many different ways for a range of needs. So first, I'll go over how our platform can be leveraged for those multiple different workflows, and then I'll talk a bit about our customizable pricing algorithms, as well as the data collected for shops through the software. So DigiFabster can be used in many scenarios. Our subscription package comes with both the customer-facing e-commerce widget as well as the internal quotation tool. Within these two primary workflows, our customers have utilized the platform to satisfy a range of goals. For example, companies have used our automation as an interdepartment tool to send estimates between prototyping labs and finance departments. Others have leveraged the platform to optimize their vertical workflow, reducing estimation and turnaround time from outsourced manufacturing. And most commonly, many of our customers have leveraged the e-commerce widget to decrease machine downtime by allowing smaller customers to quickly receive RFQs for the short-run jobs. So overall, whether you're working B2B or B2C, DigiFabster has proven to be an effective automation tool. And then even if a shop and their customers have higher security needs, our platform is still able to give your customers the peace of mind with their data. So each instance of DigiFabster is only accessible by the admin user or the users of shop, unless of course we're asked to come in to check on a problem. And depending on a shop's security needs, we can even provide an ITAR compliant cloud and even set the software up in an on-premise server. In addition, we also have a built-in feature that automatically purges files after a certain length of time if shop chooses to activate this. Now, let me go a bit more in depth about the flexibility of each of those two workflows. So as I mentioned, our self-checkout e-commerce widget can be used in several different ways. But in general, it allows customers to get quotes in real time and place orders on their own time. However, some customers have also made use of it as a smart file repository, which I'll touch on later. So the customer-facing e-commerce widget can be easily embedded onto any site that you own, simply by copying over a single line of code into your web page. And depending on a shop's preference, it can be added as an iframe, a floating button, or even installed as a subdomain. Then, once installed, the widget can be fully customized with CSS. So with our white labeling package, your widget's colors, fonts, and logos can all be customized. You could even change the pictures and the text that's displayed for your different machine and material options. So for example, this is our default widget. But with CSS customization, this is a heavily customized version of it, so it's nearly unrecognizable from that original one, essentially allowing shops to fully blend this into their websites. So through this customization, your customer's experience on your website can be seamless, from going to your website to actually placing their orders. They might not even realize that a third party is being used, which is a large draw for a lot of our shops, since it helps boost your shop's image. Next, when a user submits their files to the widget, we support most file types, including STLs, OBJs, WARLs, STEP, IGES, 3MF, DXF, and even compressed zip files. And users can send up to 30 models at a time of up to 400 megabytes per file, allowing them to bunch all of their different models into one order. Your user can then select from the different technologies, materials, specifications, and any additional services that you've made available in that one-time setup process. And then, once your user specifies their delivery info, we can generate shipping rates from multiple different providers, offer flat rate shipping options, or even provide one or multiple local pickup options depending on your preference and need. And then finally, once they reach the final step of the widget, your customers can you can customize whether or not your customers have the option to pay with a credit card, use a PO number, and you can even configure this to have different order review modes. So this first one that I touched on is the instant mode, where customers can upload their models and instantly play and submit their orders. However, we also have 3 other modes. One would be the manual mode, where you can receive files 24/7 through the widget. However, all orders must be reviewed by an admin before finalization. Some shops prefer this so that way they can have more oversight with the different RFQs that are coming in. Next, we have the semi-manual mode, and this allows orders up to a specified amount to be placed and paid for without review, but orders over the threshold are manually reviewed. And essentially, this is here so that we can automatically hold sales over a certain threshold for manual review. That way you can ensure high-touch sales for larger orders. And then finally, we also have a TBD mode, which allows customers to upload and process their files, but they don't receive their price until after that manual review. And this is particularly favored by shops who prefer to use the widget as that smart file repository. So next, I'll move to talk about the internal quotation tool. So in some cases, your customer might not be inclined to submit their files via that e-commerce widget. But for example, if a customer has a special request, or if they're accustomed to sending jobs to you directly, then you can easily process their orders internally from the backend using this internal quotation tool. When you're processing a job for a customer in this manner, as an admin, you have additional options since this whole process is tailored for backend use. So now you can reorient the model, that way you can optimize for critical faces or layer lines, and you can also add additional services as line items to that automatically generated quote and invoice. And then once you're satisfied choosing all the different specifications that you've set, you can then send them a quote along with a payment link with the push of a button. And on top of all that, the automatic follow-up emails that get sent along with those quotes and invoices have customizable templates as well. Now I want to talk briefly about the customizable algorithms in our backend setup. So we designed DigiFabster to support a huge variety of pricing models with our easy-to-use backend interface. So for example, you could create a set of virtual machines that represent your actual machines, or you could just set up some generic machines using bin pricing. And then using our parameters, you can force certain size jobs to certain machines. This way you can effectively price both small and large jobs. And I'll go into more detail about this setup in future webinars. But essentially, whenever a customer or you upload a model, it's analyzed and compared against that custom algorithm that you set. We then return the price in seconds based on the chosen parameters. In addition, to boost your customer experience, DigiFabster can also be configured to have different types of automatic discounts applied with orders. So we have 4 different kinds currently, being the batch discount, which you can set at different quantity tiers. So if you wanted a discount at 10 models and a different one at 100 models, we can support that. We also have promotional discounts if you wanted to set one up for a special event or give it to a set of specific customers you're marketing towards. We have client discounts for your specific repeat customers that you might want to give a benefit for their high use of your product. And we also have order discounts, which apply over a certain dollar threshold that you can set. And with all of these discounts, you can decide whether or not to show this information on the widget or keep it proprietary for the customers that you want to keep informed. Now, finally, I just want to go over some of the useful data that's actually gathered through the tool. So all the data collected about your customers, your orders, as well as uploaded parts can all be downloaded and exported for use elsewhere with our CSV export option. In addition, we allow you to see stats about draft and abandoned carts. So if a person were to go to your widget, upload models, but not complete their order, then we can give the option to send a follow-up survey 24 hours later, identifying the needs of those potential customers. In addition, you can get an overview of sales with our sales dashboard and the leads report. Now, both of these things allow you to reach out to a specific market or target that audience of customers that you might want to engage. And on top of all this, we also support ad tracking integration. So this way you can find the effectiveness of your different tracking campaigns. And this can help if you're trying to increase traffic to your website, for example. And that concludes all the material that I wanted to share with you today. In the future, as I mentioned, we'll be going over more specifics about how you can set up different pricing with your account. But at this point, if anyone has any questions, please send them in the chat.
Hey, Alistair. So yeah, we do have a couple questions. First one is, are quotes or invoices customizable as well?
Yes, so along with those customizable follow-up documentations that we sent, you can customize the document titles of your quotes and invoices, add additional terms and conditions. You could add bank information, and some customers have even added QR codes. That way they can pay easily with that method. So essentially, whatever information you need, we can add to those documents that are generated.
All right. And then we do have just one more. Can customers upload additional information when submitting an RFQ?
Yes, so when a customer is going through that e-commerce widget, on the final step, they have the option to add additional notes, add PO numbers like I mentioned, or add additional files such as engineering drawings. And along with that, we can even mandate the upload of those additional files so that way there's always those drawings associated with your orders, if that's something that you require.
Excellent. All right, we do have one more. Has there been development this year on feature recognition? For example, impossible features, hard to manufacture features, etc.
So currently we have 4 different kinds of feature recognition that are able to be set up. And those would be recognizing cuboids, as well as axial, radial, and reduction for returning options. However, we're currently working on adding more robust feature recognition that might include depths of holes, different tolerance options. And in addition, the reason we have that additional file upload with those engineering drawings is so that way we can reduce any ambiguity with those features that are uploaded.
Great. Okay. A few more seconds here. If anyone has any other questions, let's get them in there and I can help you out. All right. Well, I don't. Corner radius and deep pocket levels. That was a follow-up question from the original one, I believe.
Yes, so that is something that we are working on now. Currently, the way we handle that is that you can set certain prices for contour cuts or around different radiuses, as well as just increase the price for the surface area of a model. And in addition with that, we also have the option to assist with the setup of your different pricing algorithm. So essentially, you would send us 10 different models, and we would use those to configure the optimal pricing in the software. That way you don't have to play around with it as long.
All right. Next one, can you update order status via SMS? That is similar to 3D hubs would be a good idea. More of a statement, I guess. In other words, the ability to order update order status via text message, SMS.
Currently, we don't have that ability to update via text message. However, you can update order statuses and payment statuses through our API. So if you were to integrate with an outside software, we could have the software drive DigiFabster or DigiFabster drive the software. That way you'd only have to update that status from a single place.
Oh, there you go. So it would integrate with an SMS tool.
Yeah, sure. I suppose we could set that up with a custom development.
All right. I am not seeing any additional questions, Alistair. So I think we're good. If more questions do arise, certainly do not hesitate to reach out to us. We do these webinars monthly, so stay tuned in your inbox for the next version of this. As always, follow us on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Give us a follow there to keep updated with all of our latest information, as well as our YouTube channel where these videos, these sessions will also be posted. So with that, thank you all very much for attending, and we will see you next time.